Today, we're talking business. Is your business money system working? There are 8 things that you need to be able to have in place slash check whether you do this or you have somebody on your team do it, outsource it, whatever it might be for your business money system to be producing results and optimized results. That's going to be key for today's episode. So here we go. Welcome back to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Aimee Cerka. We talked last week about the 7 key things that you needed to have in your personal money system to ensure that you're seeing results and lasting results and all of those things. So today we get to talk business. And on the business side, I've got 8 things that you need to be looking for, need to have in place on a monthly basis to be able to ensure you're having the most optimized results possible. And that's the key with the business side because we can get by, and really even the personal side, you can get by just paying bills, things are getting done, and it feels like we're doing the best we can. But unless you have these 8 key things in place, you're really not. So let's dive into it. For the business side, no surprise, probably. The first thing that you need to have in place is a tracking system. Now, with the business side, an Excel spreadsheet by itself does not work. Full disclosure, I still have an Excel spreadsheet and I use that. We'll get to that more in a minute on some things that I can see a little bit better. QuickBooks Online is my preferred tracking system. It's the one that I am most familiar with. So, like bookkeeping clients, QuickBooks cleanup, we're going to get to all of that. Like QuickBooks Online, I'm very familiar with that. I know Xero is another popular system. One of the reasons that I love QuickBooks Online, and I'm going to specify online because they're kind of phasing out desktop. It's still workable, but yeah, just if you're going to join into a system, QuickBooks Online is the way to go. And there is so much versatility and features that you can add into QuickBooks Online and things that you can do because it is such a robust system. It's easy to scale with. And that's a big thing. I don't want you to set you up with something that you're going to have to, like starting out, at some point it's no longer going to work because you're going to create a bigger hassle for yourself long term. And like we talked about a little bit last week, if you know that if you hit this income level, there's going to be a massive headache that shows up, you will self-sabotage to protect yourself from said massive headache. And it's all done subconsciously. We don't even realize we're doing it because you can sit here and tell me, like, Aimee, that is ridiculous. Like, I would never do that. We'll figure it out. Not a big deal. Really, it's a big deal. And that's why the Prosperity Simplified system is such a big deal and so important because it creates that seamless transition between paying into your business and you paying yourself from your business. You don't have to worry about it. It's already in place. It's all there. And those are the type of little shifts that we have to make to be able to optimize your business money system. Okay. Tracking system in place, like an accounting software. The reason why just an Excel spreadsheet does not work, if you were ever to be audited, there's not like background. Now, statistically, very unlikely that you're going to get audited, but we're still going to operate from a best practice. This isn't out of fear. This is best practice. This is what we're doing. Okay. Tracking system, my preferred is QuickBooks Online. I'll put links in the show notes for resources. I know I've got an affiliate link. I can't remember what they give you. I think it's the first month free, but it'll be in the show notes for you. Okay. The second thing that you need to do on a monthly basis, even if you have QuickBooks Online set up or another accounting software, you need to verify and categorize expenses. The problem that I see come up here, so this is like the getting by section within this category, within this task, is we have bank import set up. Now, bank import is fantastic, right? Because it's less lift for you, and you know all about the systems, right? Less lift for you, the transactions are imported. But then we don't do the work that we need to verify and categorize them. It does not take a lot of time, but this is so important that you do this because otherwise transactions get missed. So then you miss deductions. You've got duplicate transactions that come in. So then you're claiming too much on your taxes. And then it backs up. And then tax season shows up and you are just totally overwhelmed because you have all of this work to do. When we break it down into small bite-sized pieces and make sure that you're doing this on the monthly basis, then you're set. Okay. So verify/categorize expenses. The third thing that you need to do on a monthly basis to ensure you have optimized your business budgeting system is verifying and categorizing your income. Same type thing with QuickBooks Online, really most accounting softwares, but again, I can speak to QuickBooks. This is one that you don't just import with the bank import. This is one that we need to go in and you can talk to your accountant, bookkeeper about how you're going to set this up. But we are going to record like sales receipts when you receive the sales. Now you can connect a couple different things, but it gets a little techy. But you can't, the bank import is not the accurate income level. Okay. And then it's not categorized correctly. When things aren't categorized correctly, you can't see your income for where it truly is and what products and what avenues, what income streams are actually contributing to your income. So we need to have this set up ideally in a way that you can see like by product line. So what products are selling? Is it affiliate marketing that's bringing in 60% of your revenue? Is it, I'm sorry, affiliate income streams, not like necessarily your affiliates, but you receiving affiliate income? Is it a certain product? Is it a low ticket membership? What is it that's giving you the most income? Now, oh, I personally categorize this on a daily or weekly basis, and we have like a day by day tracker. This is all inside the academy as well. So you can record how much income you received each day. I also have the text messages that go off on my phone when we receive the sales and the income. The other night, there was a lot going on personally, and I had been on the phone like back to back phone calls for several hours, and I had gotten multiple text messages, and it was two different sales that came in. And it was like, where are these even coming from? Like, I haven't even promoted anything right now. Like, where, and it's not like a bad thing, obviously, but it was very fun to be able to see that and go in and record that. And again, it's building excitement around the income. That's why we do that on like a daily or weekly, is building the excitement and reminding yourself of the success that you are having within the income. But at a minimum, monthly, we need to verify and categorize income, not just on a bank import level, but that way you know the source of the income, where it's coming from. And then, which leads us to the fourth part, to optimize your business money system, you have to be including merchant fees. And this is part of the reason why just the bank import doesn't work. Because Stripe, PayPal, whoever your payment processor is, takes a percentage of the payment, right? Like it's part of doing business online. So we adjust our prices accordingly to cover that. But you should be deducting that fee that they take out, which is only possible when you categorize things correctly and then deduct the merchant fees. So make sure you're deducting your merchant fees because, again, it is tax deductible. That is US specific. Get with your accountant, all those things. But make sure you're doing this because otherwise, you're not optimizing your business money system because you're leaving deductions on the table. Okay. Which brings us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should have labeled these in my notes here. Having an income goal. Now within, this is part of what I track in my Excel spreadsheet. So you can see what the income goal is for a month-to-month basis. Maybe you adjust your income, whether you're going to have a launch, whether you're going to run things more on autopilot over the summer, whatever it might be, but having that goal that you're working towards. Was talking with somebody who had filled out the cash flow calculator a couple weeks ago. We were talking about like, hey, I want to get to 5K a month, but I'm not even at $100 a month. So that just feels so out of reach. And that is very common. Your income goal should not be so big of a jump that it feels unattainable. Okay. That's like your vision, income vision. And again, that's a training inside Money Mastery Academy. The vision that you're working towards, the ultimate goal almost that you're working towards is hitting that 5K months, 10K months, 100K months, whatever it might be, right? But right now, your next step in this example would be $100 a month. or $500 a month, whatever feels more attainable. Because when we set a goal that isn't attainable, you're going to, again, self sabotage because it's too big of a jump. It feels unsafe. And yes, we can work on the mindset portion of it, but the part that we do, just walk yourself into it. What's the next step that you need to take? How are you going to get the next $100? How are you going to get the next $1,000, next $5,000? Whatever it might be, working your way there, but having an income goal that feels attainable, not just something that feels so far ahead that it's never going to be achievable. Okay, number 6, just like we talked about on the personal side, annual expenses. You need to have the annual expenses sheet for your business as well. How many softwares have we paid for on an annual basis? And then it renews the next year and you're not even using it anymore, but then you have to mess with the hassle of the refund, all of those things. For myself this year, I've had a higher plan on Zapier for a couple years now. But when I was looking at things, making some shifts with my email service provider, it was like, okay, I'm not going to need this higher tier on Zapier anymore. But it was something that I had to plan for in advance. So that program, or that, I'm sorry, that subscription renews in June, I think it was. I guess this is June. Um, but when that subscription was renewing, oh, good. I thought I wasn't recording for a second. When that subscription is going to renew, it wasn't one that I could just turn off because I was actively using the software, right? So it had to be a couple months in advance, a process of removing the part that I no longer need there so that I could downgrade. But the annual expenses sheet, just in case you didn't listen to last episode, this is just a list, broken down January through December. What are the things that you pay for that on a non-monthly basis, whether it's quarterly, semi-annually, annually, whatever it is, list the date it renews and the amount so that you can evaluate next year, spend, I don't know, a minute looking at the sheet, seeing what's coming up to renew and making the decision beforehand if you need to cancel something, if something is going to process like a Calendly subscription, Otter, I'm trying to think of the couple that I have, Voxer, those things. Like, just taking the 60 seconds to look at it helps you stay that much more ahead when it comes to the expenses tracking. And then you're minimizing your work because you're not going to have to go in and request refunds for softwares you're no longer using. Okay. 7th thing that we need to do, you need to have a tracking system, or you should have to be optimized. I'm sorry. Tracking system to keep up with your home office deductions throughout the year, because you get to the end of the year and it's tax season, and your accountant, your CPA is like, okay, so what is your home office deductions? And you have to go back and find all the water bills, all the electricity bills, all of those things and write it down. Car insurance for your vehicle deductions, the interest you paid on it. So it's really simple. This is part of what I put in my Excel spreadsheet. It's just a little section at the bottom. We've got year to date, and then January, February, March, April, May. Again, this is all inside Money Mastery Academy. We'll get to that in a second, but it's all there. So when I do my month end, it takes all of, I don't know, again, like a minute. It does not take a lot of time to sit there and put that information. When tax seasons comes, I'm already prepared. My clients are already prepared. You don't have to go do all this work. And then tax season isn't as overwhelming because you optimized as you went. Okay. Really simple. Another thing to make sure you're including here is, business meals. Sometimes, we have um, meals that you are discussing business or with a business partner or whatever that you pay for off of your personal budget, but those can be tax deductible 50%. Again, get with your CPA or accountant. I am not your financial licensed tax professional, so you got to check with them. But having a system, again, to track all of those things as you go, so you're not looking back trying to do a year's worth. And this is something that you can do once a month, part of the month end process. This is part of why Execution Lab was created, to help you make time to do all these things that you need to do. Okay. 8th and final thing that I I'm going to recommend this won't be like a have to do, but this is best practice again to optimize your business money system. And it's not actually money related. We need to be tracking, or I would recommend that you're tracking your clients. How many new clients did you get each month? How many leads did you generate? How many new email subscribers do you have? Which emails perform the best? Looking at email broadcast stats, social media posts, what performed best? What gave you most engagement on what platform? Just and podcast downloads is another one that we track as well. Google Analytics. There's a whole tracking spreadsheet. We call it TLC, traffic, leads, customers. We track all of it so we can see the growth, what things are working, what things are not working, what things need to be tweaked, shift. Again, all about getting results because those are the things that if you have the system set up correctly is going to earn you more money. But if you don't know what's working and you're just throwing spaghetti at a wall, you can't do more of what's working to ensure that you're earning more money. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. 8 things that you need to have in place, should have in place to optimize your business money system. We talked about having a tracking system, like an accounting professional one, Xero, QuickBooks, something, not just the Excel spreadsheet. We talked about you have to verify and categorize your expenses. We can't just leave it all up to the computers. Verifying and categorizing income, that way you know which products are selling, which revenue streams are bringing income in, and what you need to be doing more of, what you should be promoting more of. Then we talked about including merchant fees in your deductions. So that goes back to categorizing that income correctly and maximizing your deductions. We talked about setting an income goal and an income goal that feels achievable, that's not too far out of reach. We talked about your annual expenses when it comes to the business side and making sure that you're tracking those so that you can cancel subscriptions that you're no longer using beforehand and saving yourself the work of having to request refunds. The importance of having a tracking system to keep all of those home office deductions together. And real quick, the reason why that's okay and that's acceptable in an Excel spreadsheet, because that's not put into the accounting software. You're obviously going to have like all of the water bills, electricity bills, all of those things to show if you were ever to be audited, but you're giving that information to your accountant and they're calculating the information and then putting the number in. That's why that part's fine on the Excel spreadsheet, as well as making sure you've got a way to categorize, add in meals. That part should be going in your accounting software, but for most of us, it's not automatically done. And then the final one, it's almost like a bonus, making sure that you're tracking where clients are coming from. So, like client acquisition, lead generation. What is your best performing lead generation? For a lot of us, that's going to be like collabs, maybe your podcast, any of those things. What is working? Your email stats, where new email subscribers are coming from, social media posts, looking at what performed best, what you got you the most amount of saves, what got you the most amount of comments, what got the best reach. And then podcast downloads is another one. So looking at all those things so that you can ensure you're doing more of what's working, what needs to be tweaked, so that you can continue to scale the income since the business money system is optimized. And I do all of that. Yep. Sometimes the income is done like on a weekly basis, but everything else that's done in the month in process, which is what Execution Lab is for. Execution Lab is a monthly coaching and co-working space to help you make time to do the things that you know you need to do within your money. And then you have me there to help support you along the way for coaching and feedback. That's included when you're inside Money Mastery Academy. At the time of this recording, I currently have 1 client spot available. If you're like, I need help with the accounting aspect of it, I'm going to include a link down below to book a Q&A call with me and we can discuss that. That'll be in the show notes. We'll link to Money Mastery Academy. Let's see, what else did we talk about? I feel like the Simplified Biz Workshop would be another DIY option available for you. So that's like getting the bare minimum with a lot of the setup established. So I will make sure all of those links are below in the show notes. you have questions, make sure to reach out. I'm here to support you. That's it for now. We'll see you next time. If you're struggling with shame and guilt around your finances, whether it's debt, impulse spending, mistakes from the past, or the fact that you still haven't hit your income goal, then it's time for you to work with me. There are different levels of support and price points that you can use on the path to removing that guilt and shame so you can step into your unstoppable life. After all, your finances are unique to you, and your support should be too. Go to workwithaimee.com to get started with one of my most popular programs, or you can book a Q&A call with me and we'll figure out what that next step should be. And those links are hanging out in the description of this video as well.